Here's your news for July 31st, 2020. And your headlines for today include: former WWE Superstar Rusev has been banned from Twitch. Rusev reacts. Current WWE Superstar posts some strange and creepy messages on Instagram over the last few days. WWE wrestler suffered internal injuries and coughed up blood after his match. WWE NXT Superstar set to make return next week. AJ Styles reveals that WWE denied him from wearing a mask at WrestleMania. AEW'S EXCALIBUR is out for long. Vince McMahon openly makes a statement about Paul Heyman's release. WWE reportedly changing 2021 Royal Rumble plans, and more. We're starting today with news from Miro, as the former WWE Superstar has been banned from Twitch. If you go to his account, you'll find an error message for banned and deleted accounts, and though Miro hasn't said why the account was banned, it's possible that it's because his wife Lana appeared in a bikini. Twitch has some pretty strict rules under the nudity and attire section of their community guidelines, which says, swimwear is permitted as long as it completely covers the genitals, and those who present as women must also cover their nipples. Full coverage of buttocks is not required, but camera focus around them is still subject to our sexually suggestive content policy. Coverage must be fully opaque even when wet. Sheer or partially see-through swimwear or other clothing does not constitute coverage. After announcing he was done with wrestling to become a full-time Twitcher, the silver lining in this is that if the former Rusev was banned for this rule, then he should be back soon, as Impact Wrestling was banned in January due to a segment with RVD and his girlfriend, but was reinstated a week later. On Twitter, Miro joked about his ban, saying he's too sexy for Twitch, and added that he'd be back tomorrow. We'll have to see whether the former US champion is back tomorrow, but for now, he'll have to find some other way to fill his time. Over to WWE now, and Aleister Black's push has been the subject of multiple rumors following Paul Heyman's departure from the Red brand, and that continued on this week's show. After losing to Seth Rollins on the July 20th Raw, Black nearly lost an eye this week when it jammed into the ring steps by Murphy, and on Instagram, Black has put out some strange posts that spell out the following message. "There is blood on my shoes, and I understand I have to take accountability in this, but let me tell you a story. See, my father was a cruel man, and he was cruel because his father was cruel to him. So I created a narrative that evil was a perspective as means to not be like him. And now I must rewrite 4 years of my own history by getting rid of that weakness, the same weakness that caused this betrayal. This is where my accountability ends and yours starts." This could be the start of a gimmick change for the former NXT champion, or it could be nothing but some dramatic Instagram posts. But for now, the only person who knows what's going on is the Dutchman himself. Over to SmackDown now, and whilst Drew Gulak had some huge moments on last week's show, there's some parts of his latest match from the Blue brand that the former Cruiserweight champion doesn't want to relive. On social media, Gulak uploaded a video where he spoke about the recent Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match for the Intercontinental title and revealed that he suffered some minor internal injuries in the process. According to the SmackDown superstar himself, a head scissors to the floor caused him to cough up a little bit of blood, but he was able to continue with the match, which was ultimately won by Grand Metalik. Now, Metalik will be challenging AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title on tonight's show, and whilst Gulak is rightly annoyed that he didn't get a shot at the coveted gold this week, at least he was able to leave last week's show with what he described as minor injuries. One person who knows all about injuries is John Cena, and whilst the 16-time world champion might never attend an AEW event, he does watch it, and saw Matt Cardona make his debut this week. On Instagram, Cena continued his tradition of posting images without captions, which lets his followers figure it out, and posted some images from Z True Long Island Story, Cardona's show from his time in WWE as Zack Ryder. It didn't take fans long to figure out that Cena had watched the Broski debut on Dynamite, and Cardona will be making his in-ring debut on next Wednesday's show. But what did you think about Cardona's AEW debut? Do you think he'd be better off elsewhere? And who else should join him on Dynamite? Sound off in the comments below. Back to WWE now, and next week's NXT will see the return of Kyle O'Reilly, who has opted to stay home given the ongoing situation. The Undisputed Era member is diabetic, which makes him especially vulnerable at the moment, but O'Reilly will team with Bobby Fish to challenge for Imperium's NXT Tag Team titles, and it'll be great to see him back. We're looking ahead to SummerSlam next, as despite reports of multiple locations across the US and even a boat being considered to host the show, AJ Styles doesn't see it happening. On his Twitch stream, the reigning Intercontinental Champion addressed the SummerSlam venue situation and said, "If I'm a betting man, I bet that we don't do anything until 2021 outside the Performance Center. I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but just based on everything and how everything is going on, it would surprise me if we did." So far, WWE haven't said that SummerSlam will take place at the Performance Center, but given that every pay-per-view since WrestleMania has happened there, the venue remains the most likely possibility. It's always possible that WWE could find a new location for the biggest party of the summer that'd allow actual fans to attend, and if that happened, it'd certainly be a good surprise, especially to the phenomenal one. That wasn't all Styles had to say this week, as he also discussed his WrestleMania 36 match against The Undertaker, which could have been much different. In that same Twitch stream, Styles said he originally planned to have a mask as part of the show, but that didn't pan out. He said, "I had the perfect one. It was going to be great against The Undertaker, but we know how that ended. We didn't get the opportunity to do something like that because of the change. You get new gear and it's strictly for WrestleMania. It's a big deal, and man, those entrances are awesome. I was hoping to have a great one this one, but I will not tell you what it was." Whilst fans didn't see Styles' new mask, they did get to see one of the most popular matches in recent memories, as The Phenom defeated the Phenomenal One in the Boneyard match. The Undertaker has seemingly retired, and by recent interviews, it sounds like Styles thinks of hanging up his boots a lot too. But for now, the Intercontinental Champion is still competing and could have that mask of his for next year's WrestleMania. It's likely that Styles will be a part of this year's SummerSlam, wherever that may be, but the Intercontinental Champion won't have much time to rest before the next pay-per-view. According to WrestleVotes, the WWE have added Payback to their pay-per-view schedule, and this event will reportedly happen on August 30th, just 1 week after the biggest party of the summer. There were reports of WWE doing something notable for the 30th, which some believed meant SummerSlam would be a 2-week event, but it'll be difficult for the company to build an entire pay-per-view with just one episode of Raw and SmackDown. Given what's happened this year, it wouldn't be the strangest thing to happen to a pay-per-view, and we'll have to see what becomes of SummerSlam and Payback in the coming weeks. Over to AEW now, and announcer Excalibur wasn't on this week's show after videos of him using the N-word in promos surfaced, and now it seems nobody knows what will happen with him. In the past, the company have addressed an absence from the show, especially if it's due to the ongoing situation, but the fact that nobody mentioned Excalibur on the show caused many to believe he wasn't there because of his comments. Bodyslam.net is reporting that Excalibur is currently in Jacksonville, where the TV tapings for next week have been held, but it's unclear whether he was used for them. It's believed that Excalibur will be out for 30 days, a similar length of time that Sammy Guevara was suspended for his comments about Sasha Banks. AEW is very transparent, so not coming forward about this issue is very unlike the company. And whilst we should expect some kind of official statement down the line, right now it's a waiting game for Excalibur and AEW. Over to WWE now, and the company released its 2020 second quarter financial results today with some pretty big profits. Despite the current situation, Interim Chief Financial Officer Frank Riddick said the company made $233 million in revenue and adjusted OIDBA of $75.3 million, as the company continues to offset the impact of canceling events they can't appear at. Whilst the money may be rolling in, ratings have been pretty abysmal lately, and Vince McMahon addressed this in a conference call, saying, "As far as ratings are concerned, more than any other sport, the audience is integral to our success and our television ratings. Again, because interaction or lack thereof. Notwithstanding that, I think we can have more compelling characters, better storylines, new characters coming into where we are right now, more content that's not necessarily in the ring, but that focuses on our personalities and their story outside of the ring." When asked why shows like NXT and AEW Dynamite have fared better than Raw in the current situation, McMahon had an explanation for that too, saying, "I think simply because they're new. It's something that's new and what have you, and it's up to us to make Raw and SmackDown feel more youthful, and that's where we're going. You always have to build characters constantly. As far as Paul Levesque helping out on Raw and SmackDown, that happens. It's all hands on deck in terms of all that we do. Time will tell when, if ever, the ratings for Raw and SmackDown improve, and whilst the success, or lack thereof, of the main roster has been attributed to no actual crowds, we still don't know how long WWE will go on without a real audience. Back to WWE now, and though Trish Stratus officially retired at SummerSlam last year, it seems she could wrestle one more match. In a recent tweet, Stratus thanked Sasha Banks and Bayley after receiving a request for signed action figures of Trish and Lita, and though this doesn't seem like much, it's part of a bigger picture. Earlier this month, Bayley suggested a dream match with herself and the Boss facing Trish and Lita, and that comes after the SmackDown Women's Champion called out Trish in 2019. At 44, Trish remains in phenomenal shape, and if her SummerSlam match is anything to go by, the Canadian could certainly deliver more stratisfaction in this dream tag match. Speaking of teams, this week's Raw saw WWE tease splitting up Rollins and Murphy, though fans shouldn't expect the pair to be feuding just yet. Sportskeeda's Tom Colohue has reported that a Rollins-Murphy feud is a backup plan that could be used if plans with either Rey or Dominic Mysterio fall through, but added that a feud between the Monday Night Messiah and his disciple could very easily be abandoned completely. On the latest episode of Raw, Dominic was able to get the better of the heels thanks in part to the kendo stick he used, and though it seems like the company are building towards Dominic having a match against the two, presumably teaming with either his father or Aleister Black, the WWE's backup plan shows they're not taking any risks this close to SummerSlam. We're looking ahead to the 2021 Royal Rumble next, as there's been some pretty big changes about the January pay-per-view this week. According to a report by WrestleVotes, WWE had planned on announcing both the date and location for next year's Rumble in early August, but now it's being claimed that this big announcement is on hold due to plans for the event changing. Whilst it's not been confirmed that this change is due to the ongoing global situation, that certainly seems likely, as WWE have been forced to undergo major changes to their programming since March, and we'll have to wait and see just where exactly the two Rumble matches take place next year. And we're ending with news from the WWE Network, as the company has reportedly nixed their plans for it. For the past few years, there have been reports of WWE introducing both a free and more expensive tier to their streaming service, which currently costs $9.99 a month. And whilst the free tier, which offers fans limited content, has come out, it looks like the most expensive tier won't be released. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Vince McMahon has scrapped the third tier as he isn't a fan of the idea anymore, though of course, things could change. Just last July, McMahon said that the third tier would be coming within the next 12 months, and whilst there were reports that WWE could host external content like Evolve shows, that won't be happening. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on any updates we post on our channel. Please also check out our Top 10 video, Top 10 WWE Wrestlers Who Almost Died as a Result of a Wrestling Injury.